Hello everyone, it's Mark, and it is time for the Sanderson Collector News for 2020, August 30th. This week in Sanderson Collector Land, I put out a video about the anatomy of a book that explains what the various parts of a book are so you know how to discuss them when you're asking about various editions and showing them off and so on. Additionally, my bounty list, which is shown here, is still active, so if you have any of these books and you want to sell them at these prices, please let me know. And in the general collector sphere, one of my friends and collectors, Murphy, has created his own channel, which he is calling Brandon Sanderson Swag and Loot Archive. Murphy is the acknowledged swag master for the Sanderson fandom. He has more swag and an absolutely stunning presentation of it. And so I highly recommend going and checking out his videos, especially if you're curious about any of the individual pieces of swag. As always, there will be a link to that in the description. Additionally, for me, I got a new chair, which has been really nice, so you're going to see that with me sitting in it for the rest of my videos, hopefully for a long time. I paid enough for it, I hope it doesn't fall apart too quickly. In Brandon Land, he has finished the first draft of the novella Dawn Shard, which is set between Oathbringer and Rhythm of War. And if you want to read it before Rhythm of War comes out, which I highly recommend, I have not read the novella itself yet. I did read Rhythm of War, and there was very obviously some stuff that happened between the two books, and I am excited to find out what it was. So I do highly recommend going and getting the ebook when it is released, because that is going to be the only way to read this novella before Rhythm of War is released. After Rhythm of War, probably in December, January, depending on the printer schedule, there will be a physical copy of Dawn Shard, and it is going to come out through the Way of Kings leather-bound Kickstarter, and so you can go get that. I also do highly recommend that if you're a collector. That is currently the only way to get that, and the physical copy of Way of Kings Prime. I highly recommend going and filling out your survey and adding on any of the add-ons that you wish to for that. In very exciting news there, we have passed enough money with the add-ons that we have reached $7 million raised for the Kickstarter, and we are getting a free audiobook to go along with the free PDF copy of The Way of Kings Prime, and that will be recorded by Michael Kramer and Kate Reading, which is awesome. So we are going to get that hopefully later this year. If you have not seen your BackerKit email yet, go check your spam folder. It is likely in there because, as far as I know, all of the emails have been sent out. The deadline to fill these out is next Monday, September 7th. So you do want to get on that. You've only got like 8 or 9 days left before the deadline hits. Part of the questions they are asking are which order you would like to pick if you got the standard $200 tier or some of the related tiers. You get one order's worth of swag, and if you do not pick an order, they will decide to just send you the Windrunner swag, because this is the Windrunner book with the Windrunner symbol on the front, and Kaladin is the main character. There is a possibility that they will do a limited run, non-leather bound cover of some sort as a cruelty-free version of this book. I do not know how likely that is. Apparently there's some rights stuff to deal with Tor to get that made. I really hope they can do this, though, because I know several friends who will not buy and own books that are bound in animal leather, and this version of Way of Kings is gorgeous, and I think these people should have access to the book in a way that is acceptable for them, so I hope that works out. And additionally, they have been discussing on the signing live streams that Brandon does which books and items from the Kickstarter are going to be available in the Sanderson store after the Kickstarter, and it looks like cards, coasters, pins, the various swag items will be available. However, the books, such as Way of Kings Prime, will not be. Maybe there will be a reprint of that when the Words of Radiance Kickstarter happens. Dawn Shard, I do not know what is going to happen with that. They might have it in the store. Likely Tor will pick up the rights and do their own version similar to what they did with Edge Dancer, and it'll end up in other places with different covers and so on. One more thing they discussed on the live stream is how they are planning to do the Era 2 Mistborn leather bounds, since those books are smaller than anything they have done in Leatherbound so far, and they said they are going to release a set of 2 at a time, so Alloy of Lion, Shadows of Self, and then later Bands of Mourning and The Lost Metal will be out, and each set will cost $150 each. I do not know if they're going to do a Kickstarter for those. Probably not. I think they've said the Kickstarters are only for the Stormlight Archive books, which I am thankful for because this Kickstarter kind of hurt my wallet. In other news, Rhythm of War itself is done with the copy edit and ready to go to the printer. Peter posted this tweet saying that it was done and showing the whole thing. And there will be a video very soon of his kids throwing the book down the stairs, which is always so much fun to watch. The final page count, as confirmed by Peter here on Reddit, is 1,232 pages, so it's going to be a big, hefty chonker. And the margins, though, are not actually smaller. There's a post here from Peter that explains that they had to chop off a little bit on the top and bottom of the pages, but the margins of the book itself are not smaller. They just did some text tricks and everything, and also the books are larger. Way of Kings was 1,001 pages of text, 1,008 pages, including the aftertext. Words of Radiance was 1,088. Oathbringer, it looks like, was 1,248 pages, so a full signature, which is 16 pages, more than Rhythm of War. So Rhythm of War is actually going to be slightly smaller than Oathbringer. And if you do not want to get the hardcover, or if you want to collect all the editions like me, here is the schedule. If you are reading along with Rhythm of War, Chapter 8 is up at Tor.com, and the discussion is up there as well. And the last little exciting bit of news that I have for this week is that the filming for the Wheel of Time TV show on Amazon Prime has officially resumed. Production was stopped for a while because of the coronavirus, and it looks like it has officially resumed given various posts that we have seen from the actors and actresses who are in the show. And just a reminder that The Dark One physical edition will be out in 8 days, September 7th, the same day that the Kickstarter backer kit closes. And if you want to order it so that it actually ships out that day, go talk to Vault Books. Their link will be in the description as always. And other resellers, I don't know when they're going to get their copies. The Sanderson store hopefully will get theirs fairly soon after that. Amazon, who the heck knows. So Vault Books is probably your best bet for getting this as soon as possible. That cover is going to be printed up for a specific bookstore, and you cannot order it online. And so you basically need to contact someone in Spain or fly over there and go to the bookstore if you want to get one, which I know is a bit difficult, but if all you want is the cover, just go get the Bulgarian edition. That alternate cover does not have a separate ISBN, so you cannot order it through an ISBN online. It is put out by the Gigamesh bookstore. They are the ones organizing the alternate Dust Jacket edition. And that is my update on last week's news and everything for this week's news. So again, if I've missed anything, please feel free to let me know in the comments on Discord, on Twitter, wherever you want to get hold of me, and I will go ahead and put a note in next week's video about anything I've missed, and until then, happy collecting.